Hey guys, in this video we're taking a look at this disgusting muddy farm truck and we're gonna detail it using some awesome products and tools to perfection. So let's go ahead and check out the before. And make sure you guys watch to the end because I'm gonna be interviewing this customer and talking about pricing strategies live and in person. Alright guys, so here is the look at the before of the truck. It's super muddy. My client went mudding in this truck just a couple days before I got a hold of it, so there's just mud spilled everywhere. And the day I'm detailing here is a bit of an overcast, kind of a rainy day, so it made it all the more worse, but good video content. This is going to be a great video. As you guys are looking at the before, I'm going to do a quick little interview with my customer afterwards and show you guys kind of how I arrived at the price point that I arrived at. And this customer actually owns his own technology company, so he's a friend and customer of mine, so he provides some good insight just as far as the importance of actually having a technology to use within any business that'll let you optimize and scale. So I think that's going to be really valuable for you guys who are pro detailers. So like always, if you guys want to check out the technology I use, Mobile Tech RX, then definitely hit the link in the description box below this video. It's going to be hooked up just like it always is with all of the tools and products as well. Super muddy truck, but very simply going to be attacked in a very similar way as other muddy trucks. This detail is just going to be kind of an average detail. I'm not going to be doing any sort of ceramic coating, polishing, anything like that. Simply going to be washing it, protecting it, and basically what I like to call raising the exterior of the truck to the highest level of perfection that is within the realm of possibility as far as cleaning goes. So we're not correcting anything, correcting any damages, we're just detailing. So we're going to be cleaning it to the nines. So just a couple quick notes. I'm using my Sunjo electric pressure washer to brush all that mud off of those fabric wheel wells in the front and the tires and the wheels. So like in a lot of my videos, I'm just going to be starting with the wheels, wheel wells, and tires. Going to be using some super clean degreaser to loosen up that dirt, debris, and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to be using a couple newer products that I haven't really shown here. For the wheels, I'm going to be using a Jax Wax HD wheel cleaner. That is a fantastic wheel cleaner. Going to be posting some stuff on the Instagram page about it. Really incredible cleaner. One of the best wheel cleaners I've used actually. And then I'm going to be using a new product from Renegade called Knockout, and it's part of their new detailer series. It's an awesome, super powerful degreaser. So I'm basically going to be using the Super Clean to get the surface dirt, loosen up that surface kind of dirt, film, mud off of all these surfaces, and then to get more detailed, I'm bringing in that degreaser Knockout from Renegade to take the tires to that next level of clean, and then again using that HD wheel cleaner for the wheels. So as always with all of the products and the tools used in this video, they're going to be hooked up with Amazon links below in the description box below this video if you want to check those out. But here is what detailing out all of these muddy wheel wells, tires, and wheels look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with the pre-rinsing, pre-foaming wash before we move into the agitation wash. Like always, I'm using my simple Trinova foam cannon and my Jax Wax foam cannon soap. This channel is not sponsored by Jax Wax or anything like that. They just have some really, really good products that I've been experimenting with, and specifically the foam cannon soap. You guys have known I've been talking about it in a lot of videos because it's just really does a fantastic job. So anyway, going to rinse the whole thing down before we actually start with the foam cannon itself, but you guys can see the suds that are going to be created out of that. Really, really, really good suds. I'm going to pre-rinse it, pre-foam it, rinse it off, loosen up all that dirt. Then we're going to be moving on to the agitation wash. Now for the agitation wash, I'm using the Sudstorm product from Renegade's new Detailer series. These products are freaking awesome. I've got a ton of them on my shelf, so this is just like barely the tip of the iceberg of showing this new set of products, but it's awesome. And then I'm just using a simple wash mitt to, again, go all over the car using the 2-bucket method. Got a grit guard and a 5-gallon bucket full of clean water, and then I've just got my little 3-gallon bucket of soap solution. So going to be washing the mitt and flipping the mitt in between each panels, or in between each panel rather, and making sure that I'm not dragging dirt across other parts of the paint. But very simply, here's what this looks like. Now afterwards, I'm going to be using a big twisted loop drying towel. It's just good at absorbing all of the water. I'm going to run that across all the windows first to make sure I avoid any water spots there just in case. That's kind of part of my strategy. I always address the glass first just because that becomes kind of the biggest pain if you don't. And then going to quickly dry off all the paint because it is a black vehicle. So because it's a black vehicle and it's getting a bit warmer in Middle Tennessee, this was a cooler day, but it's getting a bit warmer. I do have to worry about water spots a little bit more, so I want to make sure I pull that water off real fast. Gonna blow dry some of the tires, wheels, wheel wells, make sure I get all the water out of those cracks and crevices spots of the badges and rear view mirrors, or I'm sorry, side view mirrors, because I want to make sure I'm not dripping water as I'm kind of moving on to these other stages. Then I'm going to be using a new clay bar lubricant. Again, this is from Renegade's new detailer series. So this is their clay lubricant. It smells fantastic, and I would call this kind of a two-in-one double punch sort of clay lubricant because it's a bit thicker than other clay lubricants. So like if you use, say, an O&R solution, that's going to be very, very watery, very liquidy, not very viscous, right? This is a bit thicker, and so not only does it work really well, just obviously as a clay lubricant, but it also kind of leaves a sort of protection behind, which I really like. It kind of serves as a really great intermediary between this step and then the finishing, protecting, waxing, sealing, whatever you're going to use to finish it. Now, this is probably my favorite product that I've used so far from Renegade. It's their vinyl rubber plastic dressing. It's water-based. You can see I'm just spraying it kind of willy-nilly all over these areas. So a couple notes about this step because it's important. This is one of the best black trim dressings I've ever used. I can spray it, let it drip, and just leave it to dry, and it's going to leave an unbelievably awesome satin black finish on the tires, wheel wells, trim, all of it. So you can see I'm obviously going to be getting some overspray onto the paint. So here's my strategy here. Because this is a water-based dressing and because it works so well just letting it drip dry and it kind of self-levels, I'm going to be spraying it on all the trim pieces as you can see and obviously getting overspray. I basically give it just a little bit of time to dry. It doesn't really take all that long. And then I take a 50-50 alcohol, isopropyl alcohol and distilled water solution on a damp microfiber towel, and I just quickly go over those spaces where the trim touches the paint, where I got some of that overspray onto the paint, and I just use that alcohol solution to just quickly wipe that up. That alcohol dries up all those all that stuff really, really quickly, and it's no problem at all. Now here's Stoner More Shine Tire Shine. I'm using that to dress this part of the, what would I say, the black trim on the place where you kind of step up and get into the truck. Now a lot of people say, well, doesn't this make it slippery? Yes, it does, but I actually again let the Stoner Trim Shine dry, and then I go with an alcohol solution and dry up all of the excess so it's not slippery. There's no excess lying there. Then very simply, to finish this truck, we're going to be using the spray wax from Renegade. It's a thicker spray wax than I'm used to using, like thicker than, say, Meguiar's Express spray wax, but it actually lasts a little bit longer as well. I'll be posting some side-by-side kind of durability videos to show you guys that longevity. Generally, the thicker the solution when it comes to spray waxes, the longer they're going to last. Sometimes the more fidgety they are to apply, but that's kind of the trade-off. Now for the glass, I'm going to be using another product from Renegade. You guys can tell I'm loving the Renegade products, and this is their Kiss My Glass aerosol can. It's one of the best glass cleaners I've used. I prepared the glass obviously with a clay bar, but there's absolutely no streaks left behind with this product. Even when I don't finish buffing it with a dry side, I can even just finish with my wet side, and it works fantastically. So guys, here's the after of the truck. This was a pretty simple, straightforward detail. Other than the excessive mud, you're not really dealing with anything too crazy. It's a pretty straightforward process, but I make sure that, as with all things, because this takes a bit more time than, say, the average detail because of the mud, that is something that I'm charging for. But you guys can see that deep black appearance in that black trim from the front grille to the trim that lines the fender wells to the back of the truck. I mean, it's just, the products used here, you know, I guess that all I can say is results speak for themselves. I mean, you just can't argue with the results and where this truck started from. You guys can see some of that mud that's still on the driveway. I actually have a tool that will kind of flood the driveway and push all that mud before I start backing the car out, so I don't fling a bunch of mud up on the car paint. But something you can also do is just pressure wash that away before you start finishing the rest of the truck. But because I've got that tool, I don't really worry about it. So I'm not going to get a bunch of mud on the paint. But here's the final look, final go around of the truck. Absolutely incredible, deep black appearance. Yes, tons of swirls, tons of imperfections, because this is a truck that my customer takes hunting and takes in the woods, all that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get to the customer interview. All right, guys, so as promised, I've got Lance here, my client, with the F-150. So just to walk you guys through a little bit, Lance is a customer in the Mobile Tech RX system. Now, Lance, before we go any further, what'd you think about the detail?
Loved it. It was amazing.
Yes, amazing. Okay, now, before we do anything else, what do you do? Like, because it's kind of actually interrelated to what we're about to talk about. So, like,
what do I do for a living?
Yeah, like professionally.
Okay, so I run my own software company. We do data capture, video capture, smart matching. We've got LMS built in, all kinds of communication tools, but I won't bore you anymore.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So Lance actually owns a technology company. It's called Think Native. So he ended up being the perfect client for the latter half of this video, talking about the technology for the detailing industry, Mobile Tech RX, that I actually used to price this detail. Now, as somebody who owns a technology company, let me ask you this. Trade industries in general, but like the detailing industry is like not regulated. There's no standard pricing for anything.
Right.
So as somebody who owns a technology company and me, a detailer, talking about using this technology to price this detail, and rather than like coming up with a number off the top of my head saying, hey, we're gonna charge you 150 bucks, which this detail was $213, okay, just full disclosure. And of course you guys can see that, the screen recording on the screen here, how we got there. But Lance, while we're talking through this, as somebody who owns a technology company, does it make sense for somebody like a detailer to have a technology that walks through pricing, gets more specific numbers that you can actually use with a customer to walk through them with? Does that feel more professional? I don't know. I'm just trying to get your perspective.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's a funny conversation because you think about technology and what technology allows you to do, right? As a business owner, it allows you to optimize, scale, provide consistency. And so if you have a tool that allows you to do that, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Right, no, totally. And with the Mobile Tech RX platform, we log all of our customers. You can automate messaging, text messaging, emailing.
Wow.
And again, I go into the back end of it, put all my pricing in so that I can literally stand like with you, with the customer, start clicking things, say, hey, excessive mud.
So every time it's the same thing.
Exactly. So like in this situation, I've got excessive mud, I've got wash and wax, I've got all those things so that we come up with the exact number.
Cool,
so,
very cool.
Yeah, so very cool. Okay, well, good to get your perspective. So here's a real live customer here, just so you guys know. And Lance, thanks for the truck and the opportunity, and thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks. Truck looks great. Thanks so much.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, that's it. If you want to check out any of the tools or products used here, then check out all of the Amazon links below. They'll be in the description box, super organized. If you like videos like this and you haven't subscribed to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos just like this. Thank you guys for being involved, and as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.